that play was, a play that CQ gave me actually in the bubble. We used it for that first month. We were scrimmaging all the time. We were doing late game situations, and Jimmy got the dunk on the play and hung on the rim and pointed at me and said, "We got to use this play." It just took us about 3+ years to get back to it, but that's...
The Miami Heat just beat the Houston Rockets with a lob for Jimmy Butler that they drew up in the bubble. This play starts off in a box formation with 2 players at the elbows, 2 players at the blocks. This typically is a cross screen, double screen, or cross screen elevator screen formation, or a cross screen to inbound the ball. The Miami Heat are going to run Strus off the cross screen for Bam first into an elevator screen. And the chaos starts off with this cross screen. So this cross screen here for Bam is going to have him flash to the ball. Now there's 2 ways you can guard a cross screen. End of games, teams usually switch. So they would switch this initial action here. The other option, which is more conventional to not have a guard on a big, is to bump. Now with 0.7 seconds left, most teams are going to switch this action, but the bump leaves Strus now running wide open to the top of the key through the elevator doors from Butler and Hero. Now Tate, guarding Jimmy Butler, is in a predicament. Normally, he would be switching out here onto Strus, and then you have help behind you and rely on that. But Jimmy Butler is the main threat, so he may have been told, don't switch, stay on your man. The blown switch in the chaos leaves the back screen lob wide open. Now, what really happened was 2 players went with Max Strus to the 3-point line instead of guarding the basket. So here, both Tate and Nix are caught in no man's land and both go with Strus in the hesitation. This leaves Jalen Green as a last line of defense, who should recognize his man setting the back screen and help towards the basket. That would prevent an easy lob, but instead gets caught on Tyler Hero, and this ends up leading from the bubble 3 years later to the lob for Jimmy Butler to beat the Rockets. Great play by Chris Quinn and Eric Spoelstra.
One of those benefits of all that time we had in the bubble, it was a school of basketball for those 98 days. I call that play CQ on my card. Really, that's what it says on my game card. And it's been 3+ years, 3 years,
I went back to try to find any previous examples I had in my library. This is from 2008 in the NCAA tournament, where they set a lob for the outside man from Washington State, and then in 2009 Final Four from UNC. UNC, of course, runs this cross-screen elevator screen often. They, instead of running it for the inside man, run it for the outside man. Here, Tyler Hansbrough setting the back screen lob. But most of these lobs were set for the outside player for an empty lob. I saw a couple counters for Kevin Love in Minnesota where they would run a player through elevator doors and set like a flare fan screen for him to catch and shoot threes. But the 2 closest examples from the NBA I found was this first one here for Kawhi Leonard, with him being the other man, but sort of setting the same sort of back screen action here with late clock against the Rockets as well. And the Boston Celtics actually ran this last season, looking for Jason Tatum to come through the elevator doors and then Robert Williams to get a slip to the rim for a quick lob, maybe a 2-for-1 scenario. Ended up in a Jason Tatum pull-up. But those were the closest examples I had of this exact play, maybe where the ideas and formulas came from. Either way, fantastic set, fantastic execution, and awful defense from the Rockets. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please feel free to like and subscribe. I appreciate you watching.